So if you want to buy property and you think it's never going to go down, you're in fantasy land. Now, we expect a couple of more rate drops, so this is going to happen. And this is going to come into when I finalize my thesis on whether we're in a bubble or not. For example, NVIDIA recently became the biggest company in the world, and then DeepSeek came out, and then it lost,
Yes.
the stock market lost $1 trillion out of one AI program coming out within one day. It's these little things that make a difference. So whenever the market conditions change, I look at what's happening and I find out how to maximize my savings or my investment out of that. And that's what I want to do. So for a 25-year loan, if you save $2,000 a year, what's that? $50,000.
50,000.
If you got 4 loans, I've got much more than that. There's $200,000.
Wow. Watch out, all the banks are going to get phone calls tomorrow.
I really believe you got to
go. Did you watch that George character? I got advice from this George character. Another one from.
I'm going to get banned from all the banks. I'm going to walk in. They're going to say, there's a picture of me. They're going to say, enemy number 1, you're banned. We don't want you here. Okay, guys, me and my team are about to go live. So make sure you grab your beverage of choice, sit down, and you're in for an amazing show. Hello and welcome. I'd love to welcome my amazing co-host, Belinda Flaherty. You get this all the time. A lot of people are saying that we're in a housing bubble. I want to talk about bubbles, what they mean, how they work, and give you the truth about whether we are in a bubble or not. That's what we're going to talk about. Now, if you remind me at the end, I'm going to share something that saved me $200,000. Right? And it took me 10 minutes.
Wow, this is great.
Yeah. And I'm going to share this with everyone on how to do it yourself. Right? How exciting is that? So remind me though, I'm going to do that at the end because that's what I'm going to do. And if I get enough comments in the live channel, so type in hashtag 50K, because I could probably save you 50, maybe not 200, depending on who you are. If you're in the live channel, type in hashtag 50K, as in K. And if I get enough people commenting, I'm going to show you how I did it. And you may save yourself $50,000, $100,000 just by doing this. It's going to take you 5 minutes. And it's these amazing little hacks that are important that can save you money and really do well for you. And this is a time at the moment where you can do that. Right?
Absolutely, George. We've just had an influx. We've got a lot of 50Ks coming through. Hashtag.
We're going to show everyone in the group anyway. I'm talking about the live channel, Australian Property Chat.
Fabulous.
Australian Property Investors and all that on the YouTube there as well. So that's going to be great. So I'm going to talk about that. And it's these little things that make a difference. So whenever the market conditions change, I look at what's happening and I find out how to maximize my savings or my investment out of that. And that's what I want to do.
Absolutely.
Yes. So I was at the BMT cocktail party last night. BMT, they do depreciation schedules. They're the biggest in Australia. And our clients use them. And it was full of accountants, right? You could just tell. It was very nerdy. I look a bit nerdy with my glasses, but these accountants, they look even nerdier than I do. Right?
There's nothing wrong with glasses, George.
No, they're lovely. They're lovely. And
nothing wrong with them. Nothing wrong.
And what happened was we had Limo there, the comedian. Do you remember Limo?
I know Limo really well, the Rhino Room.
Yes, he's hilarious. He's very funny. And what happened was I bumped into a few of our clients because a lot of our clients are accountants. And they're like, George, what are you doing here? I go, well, what do you expect? We had a good chat. And then one of them goes, you got to meet the CEO. I go, fine. So they take me to meet the CEO. We have a chat to the CEO of BMT. And we're talking about our SHERP and our live on a Thursday night. So he's going to be coming on in a couple of weeks to talk about depreciation, which is pretty cool.
Excellent. Excellent.
Now, before I talk about the bubble, one more thing I need to share that I've been doing lately. Look at this. It's going to turn it on.
Welcome to the rage. I've only had one for a year, George. I thought you were going to say that was all not scientifically proven.
Funny enough, they've done scientific studies. There's hydrogen water. So this is my portable one. Belinda, you realize that I've had this in my house for 10 years, downstairs.
Right. Downstairs. Yeah, yes. Right. Okay.
I remember, you remember Forestville?
Yes.
I had the first hydrogenator in Australia. I imported it from America.
Yes, I do remember that. Absolutely.
But I had never had a portable one. And I'll
Right.
tell you what, it's great. I love it. I really enjoy it.
I've got mine. I use it every morning. I love it.
Christina's always loving it. It's apparently it's
Yep.
really good. It reduces inflammation and anything that's going to make you healthier. Look, I think health is your true wealth,
Correct.
right?
100%.
It is. Totally, totally. So what I'd love to do is I'm going to share my presentation. Have
Let's
you got
get
it,
stuck
Belinda?
into it, George.
Or do I have to share it on my computer? I'll share
I
it on my
think you have to
computer.
share it on
I've
yours.
learned how to do this. Look at this.
And the topic is the Great Australian Property Bubble Debate.
Is it an imminent crash or endless boom? What is it?
Are we going to Bubble Town?
Yeah. Look, okay. So let's talk about this. Is the Australian property market in a bubble? Okay. This is one thing that I want to talk about. The RBA rates cuts have triggered a housing price rebound already.
Wow.
Right? So see, if you look at this graph, they're going down and then suddenly rebound.
Right.
I expected this, but not so strong. Now, we expect a couple of more rate drops, so this is going to happen. And this is going to come into when I finalize my thesis on whether we're in a bubble or not. Because you don't want to buy in a bubble because bubbles get popped. Australia's housing construction target is downgraded now. The Albo housing target, they're reducing it so they can try to hit it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And resi construction costs have gone up, as we know. And here's the official cash rate. And when it was around about 1.5, that's when we had the most. And now it's gone up and it's gone back down again. And slowly, I want to see it around here, right?
Yeah.
I want to see around 2.5%, 3%. That's a very healthy cash rate.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's an economic bubble? An economic bubble occurs when asset prices significantly exceed their intrinsic value, driven by exuberant market behavior. That's a long word, right? And the problem with a bubble, the reason they call it a bubble is like if you think of a bubble, you can pop it really easily and it breaks.
Yes.
So, for example, what happened in America? In America, at 2008, during the GFC,
Yep.
there was a housing bubble because they were doing subprime mortgages. So that means they were lending money to people that didn't have a job, homeless people, to buy a house.
Yes.
They didn't care. Now that's going to create a bubble. And people were worried that Australia was going to do the same thing. But we have got the tightest regulations. But also, we don't have no recourse loans.
Yes.
So in America, what happens is, let's say you can't afford to pay the mortgage and you're just down in the rut. This is what you do. You walk out, take your stuff and leave.
Wow.
They can't chase you for the money.
Unbelievable.
So think about it. If you get negative equity, what are you going to do? Just leave. And what does that do? What does that do? Create more negative equity.
Yeah, correct.
Right? And then what happens is that creates a whole ghetto where gangsters and homeless people move in and they start gang banging and doing drug deals.
And they've got that's the squatters. That's the squatters, which is very hard to get rid of. Absolutely.
Yes. So Australia is very different. Can't happen in Australia.
Nah.
When it comes to that sort of thing. Next thing. Has anyone heard about the tulip mania?
I haven't heard of it. Tell me. Oh, the Netherlands. Yeah, I did hear about this.
So let me explain. This is fascinating. So what happened was in the 17th century, right? Tulip prices started getting, tulips were very popular, right? And people became started really wanting rare tulips, and there were collectors, and it was a status symbol to have the coolest tulips. And the really rare ones were worth a lot of money. And what happened was the prices kept going up. So first of all, it was driven because of aesthetics and people wanting to be cool and people wanting the latest fashion. But when tulip price went up, people started investing in tulip and buying tulip bulbs because each year they kept going up.
Yeah.
Right. Now, what happened was at one stage, you could sell your house for one tulip bulb. Is that amazing?
That's unreal.
I know, one tulip bulb. And this is the thing. The intrinsic value of a tulip bulb compared to a house, you can't compare the two, right? That's the fact of it, right? So do you think that was a bubble? It was a bubble.
It was,
And,
yeah,
and a tulip is a soft asset, right? It lacks intrinsic value and it's susceptible to market whims. See, hard assets are more tangible, right?
yeah,
So gold is tangible to a degree. It's solid.
yes,
But can you make more gold? Yes, you can. So
yeah.
this is the interesting thing. At the moment, gold's a record high.
Yeah, I heard that the other day.
Yes. So what happens is when gold goes up, all the mines open up and start creating more gold. So the higher gold goes, the more gold you get
Yeah,
because it's worthwhile. There's a lot of mines that are just not worthwhile. But at the moment, every gold mine you've got is worth opening because they're going to make a fortune.
yeah, yeah, of
I mean,
course.
you get gold in seawater. So if gold goes up any higher, you'll just get seawater and start sifting it and making money,
Yeah.
right?
Wow.
So it's a hard asset, but it grows. There's more
Yep,
and more gold getting created.
yep.
Also, you can't rent it out.
Yeah, that's right.
You can't live in it. You can't eat it.
Can
It's
you,
hard to transport.
can you, you can't leverage off it though.
Um, I think with gold, you might be able to leverage, but it's not like property, no.
It's not like property.
So,
Yeah.
but tulips were definitely a soft asset, right?
Yes.
They were. So, and because of that, there was a bubble. And then you've got bubbles when it comes to the stock market, right? When the
Yeah.
price to earnings potential is just so skewed and people are just buying, like for example, Nvidia recently became the biggest company in the world. And then DeepSeek came out and then it lost, you know,
Yes.
the stock market lost $1 trillion out of one AI program coming out within one day,
Mm.
right? So there's the intrinsic value is a bit more sort of to the whims of people's perception. But when it comes to property, they can't create any more property. Unless we go to Mars, then you want more property in Mars, but it's a bit too far away,
Absolutely.
right? So the population growth is big, right? There's land scarcity and there's economic stability, right? So what do I say about the bubble? Tell you what I say about the bubble because we don't need to share my screen anymore. I'm going to talk directly to everyone.
Come on, George, tell us about the bubble. You're the bubble boy. The bubble boy.
What happens is property prices go up and they go down. They don't always go up. That's a fact of it. And over a 10-year period, you've got 1/3 to 2/3 that time where properties go up and then they stabilize, they correct, and they go down. That's a
Yeah.
fact. So if you want to buy property and you think it's never going to go down, you're in fantasy land. It's going to go down.
Yeah.
The important thing is you've got to look at the cycle and buy at the right time in the cycle of the property clock.
Yeah. Well, that's it, isn't it?
Yep. Do people want to have a look at the property clock, see what it looks like? Do you want me to share it or people know what it looks like? Type in the
Market
chat.
cycle timing.
Yep. So the timing is important. So how do you time the market? Well, timing the market is difficult, but what we can do is we can use data to find the 7 o'clock markets. And then out of the 15,000 suburbs, if we get really, really pragmatic and only choose the top 100, then your chances of success are magnified 100-fold,
Wow.
right? Because if you buy the top 100, or if you're randomly buying the 15,000 suburbs, the difference is so big, it's not funny. Because most people, I think it's like 90% of people lose money in the property market within 1 year,
Crazy.
right? And that's because they're not in the market long enough and they buy the wrong thing.
Correct.
Is there
Absolutely.
a bubble? Yes, there is a bubble. Okay, so the experts are half right. There's some areas that are terrible, like in my no-go zones. There's some areas where it's a massive bubble and it's not going to keep going up. It's going to go down. It's going to correct. There's some places where there's apartments. I mean, for example, in Melbourne, that bubble has been burst already, where people bought back in 2012 and they haven't made any money in 10 years of
No.
owning
No.
a unit because they bought the wrong thing. Is it
Absolutely.
possible to get the wrong property? Very easy to get the wrong property. So the important thing is some properties are in a bubble, but in general, the property market in Australia is very strong. It's definitely not a bubble. And the top 100 are not in a bubble, and they never will be. Unless we have a zombie apocalypse. That's the only thing.
Zombies come
You know,
in.
I've never had that before. If zombies came, because you look at the GFC 2008, right?
Yep.
Right. So 2008 was that? Yeah, 2008. The GFC in 2008. A lot of people lost money in 2008. But
Massive.
what happened to our clients in 2008?
They made money.
They made money. Exactly. They didn't not just lose. They didn't just
Correct.
stay. They actually made money, and that's the beauty of it.
That's it.
So
Absolutely.
yeah. So there you go. So what I want to talk about now is who wants to hear about saving money.
Everyone wants to hear about saving money.
People in the group. What about the Facebook group? The Facebook group, YouTube. I want to see more people talk about it.
Absolutely. I can't see our Facebook group. I'm looking at I can definitely tell you the members are definitely reaching out for it.
Okay, great. So
bring on more bubbles.
Okay, let me have a look and let me show you what I did. So this is something I did recently, and it worked very, very well. And I'm going to share it with you. And I like to share what I do with everyone. And I've written it all down, actually. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to send an email to all of our members so you can get this script. This script is going to save you money, which is great. And the people that are on our live channel, if they type in hashtag 50K, I'll get our team to reach out and send you a script as a little gift for watching us, supporting the community.
You've got to be happy with
find it.
Love it.
Okay.
That's awesome.
So, okay, let me explain what's happening. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a real example of how it works, which is great. So what happened, the RBA dropped interest rates on the 18th of February. Now, they haven't passed on those savings to everyone. Now, who's got the savings? Tell me, type in the chat, type yes, and who hasn't? And who likes some savings? Well, I'll tell you, I'm going to help you. So this is what Christina and I have been doing with our loans. We've been calling our bank and having a chat. And what I've done is I've done a bit of a script so you can go through it all, because they're not going to just give you a saving straight away. So let me go through this, okay? Belinda, you can be the bank. No, that's okay. Bring. Okay. Hello, my name's George. I've been a loyal ANZ customer for 10 years and have always appreciated the service. However, I recently received an offer from Commonwealth Bank for a 6.49 variable rate, which is significantly lower than my current 7.24. I'd love to stay at ANZ, but I need more competitive rate to make that worthwhile. Can you match or beat my offer? Then they're like, 1 moment, I'll check. They go, oh, we can give you 0.2%, but not the full match. So they go, oh, we can match 6.49. We could offer you a discount of 0.3, bring your rate down to 6.94. I'll go, yeah, I really appreciate that, but unfortunately, that's still too high. Commonwealth Bank's 6.49 rate means I'd be saving $250 per month on a $500,000 loan. Already have pre-approval with them. So unless ANZ can offer something closer, I'm going to have to seriously consider refinancing. So can you please check with your retention team? The retention team works really well because their job's to retain you. Retention team, supervisor, to see if there's any flexibility. They put you on hold. You've got to wait around, listen to the elevator music. Then the supervisor. Okay, thanks for holding. We reviewed your account. We can offer you a special retention rate of 6.5, effective immediately. That's excellent. Thank you for working with me on this. Just to confirm, my new rate will be 6.5. Will I receive a confirmation email stating this change, correct? Yes, because you want to get it in writing. You don't want to just listen to a phone call and suddenly they forget to do it. Yes, you'll receive confirmation. A new rate will take effective from date. Perfect. I appreciate your help today. Thanks again for making this work. Key takeaways. You leverage a real competitive rate. So you do the research, because this is a real rate that I'm talking about, not a fake one, online.
Love
so
it.
The 6.49 against the 7.24. You didn't accept the first offer, but escalated to get a better deal. You always have to go to a supervisor, a manager, or retention specialist if you want to get anything. You confirm the rate change in writing before ending the call. and saving you $2,000 a year. So for a 25-year loan, if you save $2,000 a year, what's that? $50,000.
50,000.
If you got 4 loans, I've got much more than that. There's $200,000.
Wow.
Right? How good is that? And I'm happy to send you the script.
Well done.
If you want, I've even written an email, so you can email them, and I'll send you the email. So a very beautifully written email explaining everything. All you got to do is fill in the details, put in your name, put in your
Watch
rate,
out.
and the competitor.
Watch out, all the banks are going to get phone calls tomorrow. I'm going to try and get on there. I'll be on a wait list for 2 hours. Everyone's doing the same thing.
Oh, look, I really believe you got to
go. Did you watch that George character? I got advice from this George character. Another one from...
I'm going to get banned from all the banks. I'm going to walk in. They're going to say, there's a picture of me. They're going to say, enemy number 1, you're banned. We don't want you here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look, I'm always thinking the idea, is this just for investment property? No. This is for your home loan, investment,
anything. Yay.
So what I do when rates go down, I want to, when they first go down, to just call the bank and get a reduction, because that's really easy. I don't want to refinance all my loans to get a saving, because it's a lot of work, and I want to get a payback, right? Is there a minimum time? No, there's no minimum time, right? The fact of it is, there's no minimum time. You can just do it. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's a lot cheaper for them to give you a saving than lose a customer, right? And if you talk to a retention manager supervisor, I bet you their KPIs are not to lose a customer. Think about it.
That's right, absolutely.
No way, right? So
they're going to do whatever it takes.
They're going to do whatever it takes to do it. And I've done this with Telstra and Optus many times when they've charged me too much. I was overseas once with Optus, and I was talking to my girlfriend every night. That was back in the days when it was really expensive from overseas. And I come back, and literally my phone bill was more expensive than my overseas trip. It was like $7,000. And I rang them up, and I went to retentions and said, this is unfair. And then they just wiped the whole bill out and made it like $500.
Yeah, wow.
Okay, how do you manage break freeze? You don't have to break anything this way.
Yeah, we're not breaking. We're just negotiating.
Variable loans only. Yes, you can't do this on a fixed loan.
Variable loans.
A fixed loan is fixed for a reason. Type in #50K. I'll send you a script and the email, so that way you can use it. What we're going to do is we're going to go move into our private group now. I want to say to everyone, thank you for watching.